Good morning and welcome to BroadcastShow Live here in Amsterdam at IBC 2013. I'm sitting in the beautiful Teradek Cube here in Hall 11, and we have been putting a show together for the past 5 days. Today is day 5. We have an hour-long show for you today, plenty of guests to talk to, so have a watch of this and we'll be right back. Well, the voice is shot, the eyes are heavy, the body is aching. This is day 5 of IBC, yet we shall persevere. We've battled through the past 5 days. Our guests are going to come on thick and fast today. We have an hour show for you and we're going to get started. We've got Patrick Morgan from Digital Vision with us. Hi Patrick, thanks for coming on.
Thank you very much.
Now Patrick, we haven't spoken before.
No.
And it's certainly worth asking the question. Can you tell us a little bit about Digital Vision first of all?
So Digital Vision is the company was started in Sweden about 25 years ago, and the initial our initial product, what we did, what we were famous for, and what we're still famous for is image processing,
right.
Image enhancement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So give us an overview of what you mean by image processing and enhancement.
Well, we have algorithms for all manner of situations,
yeah.
but what we were really famous for right at the beginning was for noise reduction,
right.
for telecines.
Yeah.
So the guys that developed the DVNR, the Digital Vision Noise
yeah.
Reducer, did a really good job. And that allowed it kind of allowed the DVNR to become really well known, really famous. Every
yep.
telecine had one, and actually after 25 years they're still in use today.
Right.
Yeah.
So noise reduction clearly an issue, and especially
yep.
nowadays as well with digital camera technology.
It's really interesting that it's actually come back. Yeah. So we have an algorithm that we use on our restoration and on our color grading system called Clarity,
yeah.
and initially, that would be used for grain reduction in film, yeah. But we found increasingly our customers are using it on virtually every single piece to do a kind of noise reduction yeah. on digital camera acquisitions, yeah. because it is a problem, yeah. and it does cause all kinds of problems for compression and also for just general post-processing as well.
So yeah, we had Canon on earlier in
right.
the week, and they're talking about their Canon C300, 500 range now shooting at 80,000 ISO, so you can
right.
actually shoot in the dark, but it's noisy.
Yes.
And this
yeah.
is where your technology would come into play.
Yeah, absolutely. It definitely makes a big difference. When you first look at the image, it's not always perceptible, but once you clean it up, you can see the difference.
Yeah. So this is IBC. There's
Right.
always new stuff to talk about.
Right.
You obviously have a range of, I understand, software and hardware solutions.
Correct.
Tell us a little bit about the solutions that you offer.
Right. So the first one in line would be Nucoda, which is our color correction solution. That's been around for a long time, and it's a continual evolution for that. Just adding new formats, adding new features. We do almost monthly releases.
Right.
So we don't always have like a massive big feature release. They, smaller, steady, regular releases. So the Nucoda product is going from strength to strength, and continued development on that and on the precision panel as well. The other software on the other side is Phoenix, which is our film and video restoration tool set. Now that's become increasingly more necessary the way that archives are decaying at the moment, being video and film. So we have a large amount of interest in that, and that product is doing really well. We have some new tools for Phoenix. All our algorithms are designed to be as automated as possible. In other words, do as good a job as what you can without too much user intervention. So we have new algorithms for stabilization and removal of splice jumps automatically, as well as we have a de-warper that'll automatically de-warp kind of the waterfall effect that you get from old telesenis or from telesenis and from certain scanners. So that is, it's really good and very important technology that we're showing at the show. A GoldenEye, which is our archive scanner. That is, we have new gates for that, and we, that's also in a continual kind of level of updates. We're looking at new optics and all that kind of thing. And then I think the most important thing is that we're showing at the show is a new hardware product called Thor. And Thor is a platform for our algorithms.
Okay.
Something like Clarity, which will be the first algorithm to be released, we will be able to run in real time at 4K.
Wow.
Or 4 streams of high definition at real time. It's file based, it's video based as well. So if you want to put video in the one side, get video out, you can do that. And what's very important about it is that it will fit into any workflow.
Okay.
So it can go into broadcast, it can go into post, it can go anywhere. It's not restricted to our ecosystem. It'll fit in anywhere.
Brilliant. And the format of this, the Thor device, is it a rack-mounted unit?
It's actually a PCI card that slots into a system. It's got 2 really beefy FPGAs on it. We have lots of RAM. We have enough RAM to store around 400 full aperture 4K frames.
Wow.
So we'll be able to run multiple algorithms on that card, and we believe it's going to be very important. Moving on the archive side for cleaning up stuff, but also very importantly, pre-processing new digital acquisitions as well.
Excellent. Now, this is new. What's the availability of Thor?
We're looking at shipping towards the end of the year. So we're already showing it at the show. We're showing it in HD at the moment, but the development is going ahead of pace, and it's really exciting for us.
That's great. Patrick, thank you. Now, if people want to find out some information about Digital Vision and these products, is there a website they can go to? Yeah,
there's a website, www.digitalvision.tv, and if you have any energy, you can drag yourself over to Hall 7, 7E30, and you'll find most of us sitting on a chair.
Brilliant.
Waiting for the end of the show.
Absolutely. I know the feeling, Patrick. Thank you very much for coming on.
Absolutely.
Go and have a look at their website and find out information about all their products and services, and of course the new product Thor. If you've managed to stagger in, as he says, to IBC, you can find them Hall 7 and stand E30. We're going to move on now, just to remind you that in October this year, if you're around the UK, we will be doing our Broadcast Show live tour. We're going to be visiting Belfast, Leeds and Pinewood Studios in London, where we'll have lots of new tech, the stuff that's shown here at IBC, and Mr. Philip Bloom will be there in the morning and in the afternoon doing presentations and workshops for you, which are of course free. So get yourself signed up to that. In the meantime, while we get our next guest ready, here's a little interlude VT for you. Welcome back. Don't forget to sign up for that tour, broadcastshow.com/tour. We're going to move on now. I've got Barbara with me. Hi, Barbara. Now, you are from, and I'm going to pronounce it both ways, the SMPTE or SMPTE, as somebody know. Now, if people don't know anything about the organisation, tell us a little bit about it.
Sure. The SMPTE is the Society of Motion Picture and Television Engineers. We are an international professional association that really focuses on the quality of the motion image. Our technology, our engineers work in setting standards in that digital media space. And we also care about education, so we do a lot of industry education. And of course, we're a membership organization, so we have members around the world who interact and learn from one another.
Understood. Now, you mentioned standards, and you also mentioned digital imaging in the same sentence. So what are the sort of challenges facing, we'll call it SMPTE for now, members today?
Yeah. Well, of course, what you hear a lot about here at IBC, in fact, is 4K and UHD. And SMPTE just published a study group report about the issues related to UHD and what broadcasters need to care about as they're getting ready to embark on that path. It's technically very, very difficult, and there are a lot of issues. And so the study group, one of the things we do as a standards body is we analyze the problems and produce a study report that eventually will lead to standards being developed. So that's an important part of what we're doing.
So I'm going to go right to the base level. Why is it important that we have standards in these technologies?
Great question. Because it creates an opportunity for interoperability within systems, that broadcasters can rely on a certain set of standards, and it makes it a lot easier for manufacturers then to develop on top of the added value on top of that layer of set standards. So it facilitates interoperability, and I think also leads to better innovation as a result.
Right. Well, things are always moving fast in this industry, and they seem to have sped up as the years go by. Things are constantly changing. There's new products, new technologies coming out, which you have to look at getting standards on. What are some of the recent technology developments that are coming from the SMPTE standards community?
Right, so in addition to the UHD work, we're also very heavily involved, of course, in the cinema side. We're working on a file format, a master file format called IMF, which allows, in this case, studios, but also works for broadcasters to have a master format file so that they can then distribute out to many, many distribution channels. And so that's a major effort. We're also working on a work with advertising to create a standard for metadata around advertising as the adverts are placed into the broadcast workflow, which is a big problem in the industry as well. And then, of course, archive exchange formats. A lot of the work that we're doing now, of course, is very IT and software oriented. So we're looking more at technologies that help the broadcaster more in that IT space than the traditional hard engineering space.
So obviously you're an organisation, you have members, and those members can come from multiple areas in the broadcast industry, film broadcast. Which sort of areas are you seeing the most growth in these days?
Well, I'm proud to say we have about 6,000 members around the world. We're in about 65 different countries. We just started new sections in India and actually in the UK, interestingly enough. So we have a lot of growth in those two areas. We have interest in Southeast Asia and Singapore, also in Latin America now. So I think anywhere there's a strong media presence and technology presence, SMPTE will find a home.
Gotcha. And what is the benefit to being a member of SMPTE?
Well, of course, there's the physical benefits of receiving the journal, which is very well regarded, a technical journal, but it's also about the networking of interacting with like-minded people and the connections that you build when you introduce yourself as a SMPTE member. Many people actually will travel to different sections in the world and will join a meeting, and it becomes like a fraternity in a way. So you have that connection with a lot of other people. And then also participating in the standards process. It's really an important value that we bring to the industry, and members have the opportunity to participate in the standards process.
So if you're not a member now and you're looking to become a member, you're finding this interesting, how can you go about becoming a member?
Well, if you're at IBC, you can wander over to the Partnership Village where we have a stand, and my colleague Roberta Gorman will be happy to assist. But otherwise, you can go online to SMPTE.org and you can register and join right online. Very easy.
Barbara, thank you very much for giving us an overview on that. If you want to find out more about SMPTE, their website is, I'm going to ask Barbara again,
SMPTE.org. Very simple.
Very simple. We like simple website addresses. You can find them. That's the main thing. Go and have a look at their website, and they do an awful lot in the industry, a lot more than you could possibly imagine, and it will all be there on their website. Barbara, thank you very much for coming on. In the meantime, this is an hour show. We've got a lot to get through. We're going to get our next guest on. They will be here momentarily. In the meantime, have a quick look at this. And we're back. We've got our next guest ready. It is Ian from Cambridge Imaging Systems. Ian, thank you for coming on board. Day 5 of IBC. It's you start to feel it around about now.
Absolutely,
It's almost, you feel, we'll just talk like this with our head down and eyes half closed.
Is it a marathon or is it a sprint? Well, it's a middle distance one, isn't it? You just go hell for leather for 5 days, don't you? Anyway.
Absolutely. And then you think you've got a couple of days to recover when you get back, and then you suddenly find you haven't. More work to do.
Absolutely, you're going through the leads, you're doing the follow-ups. It doesn't end, does it? But it rolls on, but it's all good.
It is. We're good. We shall crack on, as they say. Cambridge Imaging Systems, for those who don't know, tell us about Cambridge Imaging Systems.
Okay, we've been around since 1995. Our earlier incarnations were project-based. We developed asset management software, and for the last 15 years, our early part of our what we did was about developing projects for large-scale corporations, for government, for large institutions, and anyone with a large amount of video. I mean, we were very quick to realise that companies have a huge amount of content, or certainly public institutions from the Ministry of Defence. Anyone with a large amount of content needs to be managed, and we used to deal with that on a project basis. And so for the first 10 years we developed software that could manage millions of items in an archive, make those searchable. We developed asset management software. We have a product called Imagen. And our first projects were the likes of Ministry of Defence. eventually, all of that great technology we managed to boil down into a product which we have here today at IBC.
Yep.
It's called Imagen. It's a media asset management and publishing system where we're in a hole full of asset management systems. Okay, it's difficult to differentiate yourself from all the others, and
sure.
What marks us out as different is that we're very much about the publishing.
Right.
So we can sit quite happily on top of large broadcast MAMs.
Yep.
It means that we have a publishing layer, which so we can take the content in your system, or we can manage that all for you. But it means that we can get your content on the web or on mobile devices.
Right.
So that means you can monetize your content.
Yep.
You can provide video on demand systems from your legacy content. So if you're an archive, once it's digitized, you've got a means of publishing that content. You make it accessible, and as a project that was always very expensive for our customers in the past. So you're talking anywhere between, say, 100,000, $250,000 for a large-scale bespoke project. That's kind of where our pedigree has been in the past.
Yep.
Right now, though, we've managed to condense all of that technology into a product, so we can roll that out very quickly. You can customize the web interface, so for end users, they can brand that web experience, so it fits perfectly with the company styles. And you've got a branded published platform, rather like a corporate YouTube. Okay, so it's all branded, but we're like the anti-YouTube. We're all about controlling access to your content.
Sure.
So you very tight controls about what you can do with the media once it's online, and who can access that content. So that's the control.
So you mentioned obviously the publishing side. In some respects, that's a really complicated end to have to work with. There's so many different formats, so many different platforms these days, and they're always changing. How do you keep up with the changes in formats and devices?
Well, quite, yeah, it is a challenge actually, but I guess we've been around for so long that we have seen formats come and go. There's always sort of flavours coming along that are going to be the next big thing. Yeah. We've seen sometimes that's happened, sometimes that hasn't. We have some very powerful workflows within the system, so we can take your original files, we can store those. We're using the sort of industry standards for delivering content. But if a new flavour comes along, we can adopt that and reprocess the content in your archive to that new format. And we've done that before for customers. We can update the formats for different platforms.
So the idea behind the software, in some respects, is that from an operator point of view, they don't really have to think too much about what needs to be done behind the scenes in order to get it into these formats, onto these devices. The software is going to handle this for them.
Absolutely. We're all about automation, really. So another add-on within our asset management and publishing system is our ability to record from broadcast sources, DVB-T and DVB-S. Yep. We can capture those after broadcast, and within those transport streams, you've got EPG data and you've got subtitle data. Right. So if you're a broadcaster, you can repurpose your content after broadcast. We can populate the database with all of the metadata that exists from the transport stream, and you have an instant online archive of all your content which has already been broadcast. And the business models we usually are able to provide are clip sales after broadcast. So it's a great system for broadcasters. It can be used for lots of other reasons too. In education, we have some very large installations where we're using broadcast content for education. Where there's a license where it can be used in that sector. So we've got a very large project where we're working with JISC, who are funding a digitisation project in the UK, and we're using a lot of BBC's content. We're going to be back. The system we have at the moment's got 130,000 programs, and that's been accessed by over 55 universities.
Right.
Okay, an enormous installation. So it's actually an online TiVo, basically, a network recording system. So. And that's just going to get much bigger when we can backfill it with content from the BBC. So we'll be announcing details of that, launching that pretty soon, actually.
So this is IBC always talking about new stuff, you've got some new pricing plans as well.
Well, yeah. The message we're coming to IBC is, we've got all this great technology. It's been used for some large-scale projects in the past. We've got Imperial War Museums, British Library, BBC have used our technology, and it's cost a huge amount in the past for these large organisations. And now, all that technology, we've shrink wrapped it. We've got a great product, and it's now available for just £595 a month, which is like an incredible price, really. Yeah. That's for the cloud-based MAM that we offer. Yep. So we think this is a revolutionary pricing. That's how we're putting this. That means that smaller production houses, SMEs, small businesses, the officers can all take advantage of this for marketing purposes or whatever. You have a world-class enterprise media management system which can be used for publishing. So you've got access to your content 24/7. You've got very tight access controls around it, so you can see who gets that content. Publishers are it's on across different platforms. Huge range of things you can do with that, and what would once cost a small fortune is now available for £595 per month.
Now you mentioned the cloud there. It's a popular subject this year. You have two products, the Imaging Cloud. Just give us a quick overview of the differences between those.
Sure. So our cloud-based MAM, Imaging Cloud, it's actually just exactly the same code base as our on-premises version of Imaging. But we think it's a perfect shop for all your content. So you can upload a proxy. You can upload your broadcast masters if you like, but it's going to the bandwidth. Is that really going to sort of be supportable? So we don't recommend it. It's possible. So it's a very good lightweight MAM where you can upload your content. You can store your proxies there. Create a shop front for your content. Sell your content. Provide access for your customers to that stuff. Low price, $595. So it's perfect for that. For larger installations, you have an on-premises version of Imaging. It gives you potential for integration with your own systems, and also has, if we have access to those broadcast masters on site, it means that we can offer online fulfillment via the web interface.
Brilliant. Ian, thank you for coming on and talking to us. If people want to find out some more information about your services, where can they find you on the web?
We're at www.cambridgeimaging.com.
Excellent. And you're based in?
It is Cambridge.
It's amazing. It's in Cambridge as well in the UK.
How about
that? Ian, thank you very much for coming on. If you want to find out some information, then go and have a look at their website, cambridgeimaging.com. I remembered it. You'll find out everything you need to know about their incredible new pricing models as well. So go and have a look at that. We're going to get our next guest ready. In the meantime, have a look at this while we get them all wired up. Thank you. Welcome back. We've got our next guest with us. You've seen him before. You've heard of him before. He is Steffan Hewitt from Polecam. Hi, Steffan.
Good morning to you.
Good morning. You've been on before and we've talked a little bit about Polecam and an overview of minicams. I was on your stand earlier and you had this amazing high-speed minicam, which I didn't even know existed, to be honest. Tell us a little bit about those.
Well, the traditional high-speed market has really been dominated by Phantom and the Vision Research boys for a long time, and what they do is stunning.
Yeah.
It's absolutely amazing, and it's becoming more popular because now as high speed 1,000 frames a second is genuine full HD, we're starting to see things that we've never seen before. But for live television, it doesn't work because you have to trigger the event, you then have to download it into its buffer memory and then download it from that to be able to play it back in. So there are people now that are working on systems that will allow you live and instant replay, but it's still on the big cameras. And you know, these are starting prices of 50, 60,000 euros. It's a lot of money. Well, the guys at Live Motion Concept have come up with a camera called the Antelope Pico. And it is one of our little small mini cams. So not only is it doing 340 frames a second, high speed, 2/3 inch, single chip, full HD, it's live replay.
Right.
And they're actually put an entire kit together with a mini camera, it's CCU, they've got an RCP for color correction, an OCP to operate the thing, and it's absolutely full. The entire kit is like 30,000 euros.
Wow.
And I was in China earlier on in the year, doing a golf event with Tiger Woods and Rory McIlroy, and we were actually getting the Polecam on the tee directly overhead.
Right.
So it's not a helicopter shot where you can see the crowd and everything. You could see the player. And then with the instant live replay capability, you were seeing the flex in the shaft. They started talking about spinal angles. They started overlaying images of one on the other to show how they were different. And this sort of analysis in live sport today, this is what the commentators want. This is what the viewers want to see. But the one extra thing they've put into this, so many of these things, the minute you trigger the event and start to replay, you lose the camera feed. Well, they've managed to keep a live feed going at the same time.
Wow.
So not only can you continue to film and do what you need to do, you're getting the live events. And you don't, and it also, I mean, they've really thought this through and used it. Felix Margraf, who is the one of the owners of the company, he is a live sports director. He's a super lovey, you know, but he is fantastic at promoting this product. So he's one of the directors on the Women's PGA Tour. So what's so important is, from a development point of view, this product is being developed and worked on in the lab, in the workshops and what have you, but it's constantly getting out there in front of the public, being tried by operators that use this kit. And it's working really well. So they've literally just kind of finished this thing off now. They've got it working now on a co-express system. So we can have up to 30 meters between the camera head and the CCU. So imagine all the things that we've ever done with the Polecam, with the Toshiba mini cams. And we're now 340 frames a second high speed.
And this is it. I mean, as soon as you start talking about the mini cams and high speed, you can suddenly get shots that you've never been able to get before, because you can put them in places you wouldn't be able to get before.
And I've already redesigned our fish face underwater housing so that, imagine for the swimming and the diving for the Olympics, we're going to be able to float that camera out there. The guys hit the water. It's been running, they've got 4 systems already, beta systems in Moscow. They've been doing like athletics things. It's been in the pit for the long jump, really low, right in the corner. So for the replay, they're seeing the guy arrive, they're managing to, you're actually seeing legs contracting and expanding as the muscles are relaxing and then tensing again. Hits the sand, and this beautiful spray of sand comes over and completely engulfs the lens. Oh, it's fantastic.
Brilliant.
Really excited. So for us, it's a marriage made in heaven.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
it really does complement the Polecam crane. From a standalone point of view, there are people very interested as well. So I'm really pleased. It's been a fantastic show.
Excellent. I was going to ask you about how has this been received here at IBC. I mean, it's the first time I've seen it here. The demonstration you had was incredible. You could literally do things real time.
Well, you know, somebody's bought the camera off the stand straight away and disappearing with it at 2 o'clock today. So if you haven't seen it, you need to get here by 2 o'clock. But no, it's absolutely stunning. But I've got one more little extra thing. There are rumours going round that every night that you boys go out for dinner, you disappear about 8, 9 o'clock at night.
It is true.
And you go back to your hotel room.
I'm a lightweight.
Well, I've actually hacked your internet browsing account, and I've got a couple of questions for you. No, John, I wouldn't do that.
This is Amsterdam. It would never happen. My wife might be watching.
On the road, stays on the road.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You're right, though. I am a complete and utter lightweight, and if I didn't, I'd be falling to pieces in the morning on the show.
You know, it's a pleasure to work with you, and you do a great job. Thank you very much, and real help to this industry.
Yeah.
You know, you and Simon and the guys. It's fantastic. You know, it really is. You create this environment and work with these people, and it does us, you know, the industry, a power of good. You know. And then the fact then you're walking around and seeing everything, we love it. It's great, you know, and you're a pleasure to work with as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Steffan. It's always a pleasure having you on, especially when you talk like that. I'll the assistants out there should pay you later.
Thank you very much.
If you want to find out more about the Polecam system and you want to have a look at it, because they do a whole range of mini cameras as well, and of course this amazing high-speed camera, and you're thinking about how do I get a camera into a specific location, I can't think of how to do it. I can tell you now, this man will have an answer for you and he will have a system for you. So go and find out everything you need to know about Polecam at, I'm going to ask him, here we go, the website is?
www.polecam.com, and we're on stand 10C49, right at the entrance to Hall 10.
Brilliant. So if you are staggering around on the final day of IBC, that's where they are, and website as well, you'll find everything you need to know. If you look at BroadcastShow.com, all sorts of videos with Steffan about a lot of their products as well, and you'll find that on our YouTube channel, which is TV Bay Broadcast Show. Thousands of videos on that one. We're going to move on. I'm going to think about what I'm going to do after this, because my brain is dying on day 5. In the meantime, as we get our next guest sorted out, here's a little VT. This is what's keeping me going, I can tell you that now, the sugary drink. We're not allowed to advertise, I'm sure, but there we go. Moving on, I've got our next guest with me. It's Dave from Wowza Media Systems. Dave, thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Day 5, we're all feeling it.
Yes, it is.
And it's great when you guys leave your stand and come and have a chat with us, so it's much appreciated. For those who don't know, tell us a little bit about Wowza Media Systems.
Well, Wowza Media Systems is a software company, and we're focused on video delivery. We started this company a while ago when we were actually working on another video project and found that the media servers that were out there just didn't fit our needs. We were uncomfortable building a business on it. So we began writing our own, and then other people found out about it and just kind of begged us to buy it.
So the technology that you guys have created is effectively the back-end system that a streaming company would use, for example?
Absolutely. So Wowza Media Server is that core streaming engine, behind the content, and it really is that engine for TV everywhere. It's the thing that makes the video work every place else. We've added a lot to the workflow as well. We've added our transcoding products, network DVR, DRM, as well as a mobile encoder. So really make it work more from end to end.
So for those who don't know about streaming, they're going to think, hold a second, why do I need this streaming server in the background? Can't I just let people know where I'm streaming from and they all connect to that? Why do they need something like a streaming server in the background to be able to handle this?
Well, so we're the thing that everything connects to. Yep. Number one, live video is pretty difficult, right? Yep. Video in total is not that easy, and it's easy to get that sort of 90% coverage. It's hard to move it to 95, 98, 99, 100%, and because there's still so many devices, despite the efforts of the industry to make it simpler and go down to some one format like an MPEG dash. Yeah. There's still so many different ways to get content to an increasing number of devices.
Yeah. So we'll talk about that. I mean, I've been in the streaming industry myself for a long time.
Yep.
Gone are the days when you had one format and it was the size of a postage stamp.
Right. Thank goodness.
Things have moved on a lot. And obviously everything that happens in the streaming industry affects you guys significantly because you're providing the technology behind it. How have you seen the evolution of streaming progress over these past, let's say, 5-6 years?
Yeah, so back when we started, we recognized that the industry was just changing, right? We began writing Wowza in 2006, launched it in 2007, and we built it from the ground up to be platform agnostic, codec agnostic, protocol agnostic. So when all these new things come out, whether it's HLS, Smooth, MPEG Dash, Wowza's been ready to incorporate them and get them into market very quickly, very robustly.
So this year there's a lot of talk about second screen.
Yeah.
And you can see a market for it within the streaming solutions area. It's no longer just a matter of people just streaming to one big screen. There's a whole second screen. How are you guys tackling that?
So we're really beginning to think about it. And the way we're thinking about it is the second screen is really going to become part of the primary experience.
Yeah.
So that second part shouldn't be seen as being degraded.
Yeah.
It's something that content creators, content owners can really take advantage of to enhance the experience.
Yeah.
And the way we look at it is as the streaming server, as the thing sending things to the primary screen, how can we coordinate better with the second screen to enhance that experience overall?
So if people don't know within the streaming world, the sort of information that you'd be looking to put on a second screen would be what?
That's the crazy thing about it. It's so varied.
Yep.
It's everything from the lyrics to the song that's playing on the Disney movie you're watching, to voting for whomever gets thrown out of the house, to alternate camera angles, additional content, advertising options. It is so incredibly varied. Because it's strange, we've been limited to this single box for 70 years. And now that we're kind of liberated that with the second screen, the creative juices are really just beginning to flow.
Brilliant. I'm going to have to mention, because it's been mentioned a lot this year, the 4K word.
Yep.
Now, obviously 4K's still in its infancy, but growing very fast.
Yes.
We're seeing new cameras coming out, so people are going to start producing more and more 4K content. Does that have an impact on the streaming solutions that you guys would provide?
Absolutely, kind of in a couple of different ways. In the first way, that's an awful lot of data to show on an iPhone.
Yes.
Right. So transcoders need to be ready to take in that much content, step it down, and get it out to traditional devices. But at the same time, we're also streaming to 60, 72-inch screens. And so the media server needs to handle that. The bandwidth needs to take care of it. And so I think there's going to be a significant cross between 4K and HEVC, right? Making those smaller, making smaller files out of that incredibly rich content.
And Wowza's always been pushing forward in the industry. You're always innovating. If people want to find out more information about Wowza, they're thinking, we'd like to set up our own streaming service.
Yep.
What's the best website they can go to find out some information?
The best website?
The best website.
The best website is wowza.com. WOWZA.com.
And they'll find everything they need on there.
All you need.
Excellent, David. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Want to go and find out some more information about Wowza? You'll be surprised just how many high-quality streaming service providers are actually using their technology. Go and have a look at their website, wowza.com. You'll find out everything you need to know. We're going to move on. While we sort out next guests and things, we're going to play you some VT, and we'll be back soon.
All right.
Welcome to IBC 2013. Now over the next 4 days I'm going to be walking the show floor, interviewing people, finding out what's new this year at IBC, and we'll be putting those videos up on our website BroadcastShow.com. So if you're watching this and you see a load of videos below me, make sure tomorrow you refresh the page, because tomorrow there will be more, and that's going to continue over the next 4 days. Also, every morning at 10 a.m. European time, 9 a.m. UK time, I will be presenting a live 2-hour show from the Teradek booth here at IBC 2013, where we will be having guests on throughout those 2 hours, again talking about all the new releases and announcements here at IBC 2013. So make sure you stay tuned to BroadcastShow.com. Some you've seen, some people you've seen, some people you haven't. They will be up on our website as well, which is of course BroadcastShow.com, and our YouTube channel, which is TV Bay Broadcast Show.
One of the neat things with virtual placement is that I can bring a live video feed and bring it into the system, and right away start putting virtual placement in there.
Absolutely. This is the brand new 1ME production studio 4K.
And the cool stuff is as well, at any given time, if I do this, boom, I get the magazine.
It's only day one. What we thought we'd do is we thought we would do a little behind the scenes. You know, it's day 5, and I did it a couple of days ago, and we're going to try it again today. So I'm sitting here in the guest position, and obviously I've been working over here on this little desk up here. So this is the set that Teradek have kindly put together. It's a glass kind of booth. It looks a bit like a square fishbowl, but it's brilliant because it managed to keep the sound of what is, of course, a noisy show floor. Camera-wise, there you go, you can see it there. And there's me. I don't actually know where the camera is, but it's somewhere up there. That's the set. We've got 3 PTZ Panasonic cameras, and they are covering both the guest. We've got a 2-shot and one on me as well. So we've got 3 cameras. They're all movable. And let's go and have a quick look over here. Look, over here is our gallery. We've got Joe, Pete, and Steve. Pete currently busy trying to follow me around with the piece. There he is. So he's controlling these Panasonic cameras down here. He's got a little control unit, and he can switch between these cameras and move them around at will. Switching wise, what we're doing is we're using a Blackmagic 8M 2ME, all being switched because the beauty of the Blackmagic kit is that you don't have to have a big panel in order to be able to switch it. So we've got the 2ME being controlled on this Mac laptop here, and the beauty of that is in a small environment like this, you've still got 2ME switching from a laptop. So Pete's doing that as well. He is a true multitasker, what can I say? Joe here is the boss. Basically, we do as he says, when he says it, and he's been putting things together like the lower thirds and just making sure the show runs as fluidly as it does. So if it doesn't, this is the man to blame. I'm just the presenter, what do I know? Over here we have a piece of Grass Valley kit, and I always forget it, and I'm going to ask Joe what it is. The piece of Grass Valley kit is a...
T2i.
This is the Grass Valley T2i. What we're doing here is we have VTs. So the VT that you see when we go between guests, when guests don't turn up, for the like, we can play out everything from here. We can upload clips during the show. It all comes up onto the Grass Valley T2i, which of course is plugged into the ATEM 2ME from an input, and Pete can sort it out from there. Now sound. Well, I would say it's pretty high up on the importance scale, and Steve from Teradek is looking after that. This is the man here, and no idea where he's in shot. Yes, he is in shot. And Steve, we're using the new Behringer X32.
That's correct.
So this is handling all the audio inputs, obviously mic inputs and audio inputs from video playback as well. Steve mixes all that in real time. No automation here. This man does it as it should be done in real time. So as things move around, as guests turn in and turn up, he can control all the sound from there. We're going out to the booth so people can see what's going on outside. So we have big screens outside. And of course, we are streaming to your good selves over the internet, and we're using Stream UK for that. I'm going to climb up here, see if the old Day 5 legs will let me do it. Look at that, they will. I'm going to come back to my position over here. So this is how we're doing it. I like to think it's working fairly well. Teradek have done an absolutely brilliant job. Of course, it's all being encoded via the Teradek Cube and being sent over the wire via Stream UK to you guys. I've been very happy with how it's gone these past 5 days. The guys have done a superb job. I hope you've enjoyed the content. We are going to wait around. We have one more guest to come on, and it's day 5, so it goes mad here trying to get a taxi to come in because everybody's coming in with luggage to fly out. Hopefully they will be here before the end of the show. Just to remind you, as we progress, we've got this little baby here. This is the BroadcastShow tour. This is coming up in October this year. We will be visiting Belfast. I've got to remember this. Belfast, Leeds, and Pinewood Studios in London. Now, this time we've got Mr. Philip Bloom with us. He will be doing some talks on cameras, shootings, creating your story within film. He'll be doing morning and afternoon sessions and available for you to talk to him throughout the day. It is completely free, no cost to yourself, so get yourself signed up. You can come along, you can see and talk to Philip. And also, of course, we will have some exhibits from a lot of the guys around here at IBC. So new stuff, for example, Blackmagic going to be there. You'll be able to get your hands on a lot of their new kit that they've announced here at IBC. Will be first available on our tour. So you get yourself on there. We will be having many guests, speakers, areas where you can talk to an expert about all sorts of areas of broadcast. It is a completely free event for you. Get yourself signed up. We're going to get ourselves sorted, and hopefully the taxi will get our guests here, and we will dash them in and stick them on the couch for you. In the meantime, we'll play some VT while we get things sorted out this end. Welcome to IBC 2013. Now, over the next 4 days, I'm going to be walking the show floor, interviewing people, finding out what's new this year at IBC, and we'll be putting those videos up on our website, BroadcastShow.com. So if you're watching this and you see a load of videos below me, make sure tomorrow you refresh the page, because tomorrow there will be more, and that's going to continue over the next 4 days. Also, every morning at 10 a.m. European time, 9 a.m. UK time, I will be presenting a live 2-hour show from the Teradek booth here at IBC 2013, where we will be having guests on throughout those 2 hours, again talking about all the new releases and announcements here at IBC 2013. So make sure you stay tuned to BroadcastShow.com. Some you've seen, some people you've seen, some people you haven't. They will be up on our website as well, which is of course BroadcastShow.com, and our YouTube channel, which is TV Bay Broadcast Show.
One of the neat things with virtual placement is that I can bring a live video feed and bring it into the system, and right away start putting virtual placement in there.
Absolutely. This is the brand new 1ME production studio 4K.
And the cool stuff is as well, at any given time, if I do this, boom, I get the magazine.
It's only day one. We're back to normality. Here we go. We have our final guest with us. And as you know, I've said it many times, we are streaming through the services of Stream UK, and we have Duncan with us from Stream UK. Hi, Duncan.
Hi there, John. How are you?
Very good. Thank you for coming on. You literally just managed to get here in time. I mean, it's a mad day on the last day getting in to IBC as well. So thank you for coming on. For those who don't know, give us a quick overview of Stream UK.
Stream UK is part of Stream AMG, which is Stream Advanced Media Group. We're a pan-European group, and we provide online video platforms. So we have a number of clients. We have a lot of sports clients. Yep. We work with Liverpool Football Club, Spurs, with Everton, and with Sunderland. We work with the BBC, and we work with a number of large corporations to do webcasting.
Right. Now, you have a number of different kinds of streaming platforms that people can use. Give us a sort of an idea of the sort of environments where we use your services.
Really, we're aimed at adding value for content owners. So content owners who have a lot of material they want to put out onto the internet, come to us, we put it out onto the internet in a player that looks good and are able to supply the business rules that are appropriate to them. If it's advertising, if it's pay-per-view, if it's good quality content, we're able to deliver their content so it retains the value, their production value they put into it, all the way through to the end user.
Right, now we're using one of your services to stream through here. I use two of them, so I'm trying to remember which one we're using.
You're using Media Platform currently.
So if you could tell us a bit about Media Platform.
Media Platform is an online video platform. Yep. It's built on the Kaltura Community Edition code base, which we've taken and made enterprise level. So our main competitors in the area are people like Uyala and Brightcove, the big American companies. Yep. What we've done is we've taken the Kaltura code base, which was top in the Gartner survey of online video platforms, and we've made it a real sort of European-centric platform. So that means not only a European application layer, which is hosted in European data centers, but crucially, it means it's backed by European technical support. Right. So across Europe, we have people who are working in European time zones, able to speak the language, and when someone picks up the telephone in Spanish or in English or in Swedish or in German or in Italian, we have people who really know their stuff at 9 o'clock in the morning, their time, who can help them with the platform and help them with the API and help them with a whole range of general streaming questions, because we've been doing this for 12 years now.
Absolutely. Now, another solution, one that I use and I know a lot of our viewers would be interested in, is the Stream Connect service. Tell us a little bit about that.
So Stream Connect is our webcasting platform, and it's used by one of the main owners of the IBC, actually, IET.
Yeah.
So the IET are currently doing a lot of the webcasts from the conference sessions on our Stream Connect platform. And if you go to tv.theiet.org, you'll see the most recent conference sessions up there using our platform. So the essential difference between Stream Connect and Stream MP is slides. And on top of that, there's another layer of interactivity where Stream Connect, the webcasting platform, allows you to poll the audience. It allows you to give them a structured e-learning questionnaire, and it allows you to have the concept of presenters and associated documents. So a real sort of a more corporate and education focused package. That in itself is integrated with Moodle, it's integrated with other learning management systems, whereas Media Platform, which is our online video platform, we've integrated that with Sitecore.
Right.
So Sitecore itself is probably the world's leading content management system, web content management system. We've brought Media Platform into that, so you can easily put video into your website. But more than that, and critically, is that Sitecore has its DMS, its Digital Marketing Suite. And the Digital Marketing Suite essentially is a platform that learns about your user and allows you to either give them the right content or give them the right adverts or just give them something that's appropriate to them. It's a big data play where you're addressing their needs. Now, when you bring video into that, you might ask, how do you do that? Well, actually, at the end of each video, the most obvious way of doing it is to recommend the video content that's appropriate to them. So if, for example, your favourite footballer is Steven Gerrard, I know it isn't actually, but if it were Steven Gerrard, then you would recommend Steven Gerrard clips after you've watched a bit of Steven Gerrard footage, just that kind of thing. That's the kind of the nice, friendly value add part. The kind of harder ROI part is that you can proffer targeted advertising, or you can tailor the subscription model to suit them, or you can actually sell an affiliate deal of associated video. So it's a very powerful plugin with Sitecore.
It is, and one of the things I've noticed about all your systems is the behind the scenes, what it can do is very powerful. You can do a lot. I mean, we do a lot of web streaming, so we use Stream Connect thing. But the part that's presented to the operator, the user interface side of things, is very easy to manage and understand. It's doing a lot of complicated, clever stuff in the background, yet you've created a very easy to use interface, which I think is one of the best I've seen.
We work hard on that, and it is a struggle because people always want new features to come in, and to actually keep those coherent or push back on those so you retain the essence of the product is a real struggle. But what we work from is that we have a wizards-based approach, which we very carefully designed with the help of external user groups and web-based user groups, and that wizard-based approach will take you through what you need to do. So create a webcast, it's a maximum of 8 steps, it's a minimum of 5 steps. If you want to create a new player and bring in advertising, it's 6 steps. But we have wizard-based approaches which allow you to quickly do things. We also have a comprehensive support site, so all stream support. It's a comprehensive support site which has user manuals within it and also how-tos on a web-based platform.
Duncan, now we're coming to the end of our time, but your name is Stream UK, but you're not just UK based.
Correct, yeah. We were founded in the UK, so Stream UK was founded in 2001, but last year we formed Stream Advanced Media Group, which is the pan-European group. So Stream Advanced Media Group includes ourselves, Stream UK, it includes Stream IT, which is wholly owned, Stream ES, which is wholly owned. Then we have a partnership with Stream Sweden, we have a partnership with Nakamar in Germany, and we're in discussion to have a partnership or a joint venture in France at the moment. So we have a network of pan-European, also Stream Turkey we have as a partnership. So we have a pan-European network of companies with Stream UK providing the lead in terms of marketing and the lead in terms of product development, and the impetus really behind the pushes for the other countries.
Brilliant, Duncan, that's great. Now if people want to find out some more information about all your products, all your services that you offer, what's the best website they can go to?
StreamUK.com or StreamAMG.com are both good sources. We have a Twitter account, which is StreamUK, and my personal Twitter account is Duncan Burbidge. My email is Duncan@StreamUK, so StreamUK.com. So people are very welcome to ask me questions directly.
Duncan, thank you very much for coming on.
Thanks very much, John. Well done on completing the show.
Thank you very much. Day 5, we have made it. We have come to the end of the broadcast show live here from IBC 2013. I hope you've enjoyed it. Stream UK have been fantastic in supporting this show, so I really would urge you to go and have a look at their website, whether you're into web streaming, whether you're into adding ads and things to your streaming media, anything to do with content on the web, talk to these guys, they can help you out. In the meantime, that's it from us here at IBC 2013. I really hope you've enjoyed the live shows we put together. Please don't forget, I have been walking the floor every afternoon here at IBC, doing videos and interviews with all sorts of people around the show. That lot is also up on our site, BroadcastShow.com, and at our our YouTube account, which is TV Bay Broadcast Show. I had to try and remember it then, and you'll find everything there. And that's it. We're done. End of day 5 here at IBC. Hope you've enjoyed it. We will be back at NAB. Don't forget the Broadcast Show live tour. We will hopefully be streaming from BVE as well. Keep track of everything that we're doing here at BroadcastShow.com. I'm going to go and get myself a cup of tea. We'll see you on the show tour in October. Thank you very much. Goodbye.